everybody to the last city council meeting of 2012. Tonight we're going to stand in just a minute and have an invocation. The invocation is given for the benefit of the council, and the views and beliefs of that invocation are not necessarily everyone in the room. If you'd like to participate in the invocation, that's fine, and if you don't want to participate, that's okay. Whether or not you participate in the invocation will have no bearing on the business that you've come here to do tonight. We invite all religions to come and offer to do our invocation each time as we meet. So with that, we'll stand first, and we will have Julie Greason lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing. We're checking to see if our invocationist is here. Seeing that he's not, unless I have a volunteer, I guess it'll be me. I don't see anybody volunteering. Let's bow together. Our Father, we've come here tonight to do the city's business. We ask that you be with us as each one of us try to deliberate and do what's best for our city and best for our people. Oh God, tonight we come here with heavy hearts. There's a small city in Connecticut that is suffering the loss of many of their loved ones, many small children, teachers, and a principal. Oh God, our hearts go out to that small city tonight. We know what that's like to be alone and lose children. Oh God, we ask that you be with each family, each mother and father, not just tonight, but all through this Christmas season and all through the years to come, to help them to learn to live with it. They'll never get over it, Lord, but help them to learn to live with what's happened up there. Oh God, we pray that our country becomes a safer country, that this meanness and this mean spirit could pass away. Oh Lord, we thank you for our community. We thank you for all the blessings you've given us through this year, all the blessings we're counting on next year. Lord, we ask that you help us find jobs, that you help us to do the things that we ought to do to keep everything moving in Connersville. And Lord, we'll give you the praise and the glory. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you all. First order of business will be roll call.
Councilwoman Risch.
Present.
Councilman Weber.
Present.
Councilman Schomel.
Present.
Councilman Nobby.
Here.
Councilwoman Montgomery.
Present.
Councilman Creech. Councilwoman Stevens.
Present.
Records show we have 6 of 7 council people here. We have a quorum and we can do business. Reading of the minutes of the last meeting.
I'll make a motion, we accept them. Second.
We have a motion on the floor to accept the minutes as they were printed and sent. Are there any additions or corrections? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Right off the top tonight, I gotta make an apology. We were notified that flags were to be flown at half-staff Friday, and I asked Melissa to immediately call all the departments, and she did. Sometimes we get a little mixed up on the Clio Fountain flag. It comes under the park department. Sometimes the street department helps us take care of it. It did not get put down until Sunday or Monday. I'm sorry about that. It was just a mistake. I think that Mike thought that I had someone do it, and it didn't get done, but I think all other flags were down. I appreciate all the department heads doing it. And I think if I'm doing it right, tomorrow morning, the flags are to go back to full. Wednesday morning? Okay. Wednesday morning, the flags are all to go back to full staff. All department heads that are here, if you remember. And you see that someone takes care of the Clio Fountain. Okay. I'm sorry, you made a mistake there. Get right into our business. We have a resolution 2012-34 extension of the street contract. You were handed a copy. The street department union has not settled with the city. We've been negotiating since last July. They decided to have a vote, and they told me they voted and unanimously agreed to extend the contract for 1 month at the same terms of 2012. Normally, I would take this to the Board of Works first. They would recommend it to you, but since it's the end of the year, we only have one more meeting, and the Board of Works just has one more meeting. I'm going to do it backwards with your permission. Get you to approve it tonight, and then on the 26th, we'll have the Board of Works approve it. We'll move on for 1 month. So I need any discussion on the extending the street contract for 1 month.
When do we hope to have this finished?
Well, I hope to have it done by now, but we've got some issues that we haven't been able to get through.
Can you disclose the major holdups?
Well, the major holdups is working through money, benefits, and seniority. If any of you would like to help negotiate, I would appreciate it. Just put your hand up and I'll put you right on the committee.
Just a question quickly. On all the other contracts, there was no increase in money and there was no increase in benefits except for the life insurance, is that correct?
Yes. That's not quite right. With the fire department, we done away with the assistant chief.
Right.
And promoted the captains to battalion chiefs, and they took on the inspections, investigations, payroll, and many other things, and we divided that money of the assistant chief among the people that took on that responsibility. We did basically the same thing in the police department. When Mr. Hicks left, the police department basically took on a lot of his responsibilities, and we divided that money among the police department. So there was. We also rewarded the police department if they would get qualified for different things.
Right.
And it encourages them to get qualified. We did that with the fire department too. And we did that with EMS. If they got qualified to be an advanced EMT or paramedic, yeah, that we gave them more money. So we did give some money, but they gave in return.
Right. And the issue here is?
The issue here is, I tried to do the same thing with these people, but in return, I wanted to be able to hire part-time people, and we haven't worked that out. We've been restricted to hiring part-time people only from Memorial Day to Labor Day. But if you all remember, the grass started growing furiously. Is that a word, furiously? Is it a word?
It's a word.
Last,
Yeah,
last March, and there we stood with just a few people not able to keep the grass cut. So I've asked them to allow us to have part-time people whenever we need them throughout the year
Right.
at our regular price of $9 an hour. They haven't agreed to that.
What's the issue? Why not? Can I ask you why not? I mean, it's not taking work away from anybody, is it?
No, and I agreed that there would have to be 40 hours a week for the regular people before we did that.
Right.
Just a matter, we just can't get it settled.
Okay.
I
Thank
think
you.
automated trash had a lot to do with it. Picking the drivers, who's going to drive that. So I'm asking you to extend the pay to these people, stay the same for a month until we get this resolved.
So moved.
Second.
Motion on the floor to accept this extension of the agreement would be Resolution 2012-34. Any further discussion? Anybody out there have any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have Resolution 2012-31. It's a preliminary tax abatement for More Precision. I'll call on our, if you'll come forward.
Evening.
Hi, Pete. Hi, Pete.
Hi. More Precision Machine began business in about 2008. They came to us for some assistance initially. They began with one full-time and one part-time employee. They have grown that business to a point where they're at about 6 full-time equivalents and look at continued growth going forward. We'd like to ask the council to give consideration to their request for an abatement on a new piece of equipment that they're buying.
This is to advertise for the public hearing in 2 weeks.
Yes.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to allow us to advertise for a public hearing for an abatement on a $100,000 piece of machinery at More Precision at the next regular meeting of the council. Any discussion? Any discussion out there? Anybody? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We have a resolution 2012-32, 2012-33, both reimbursements in the park and in cable TV. One, the park is receiving $91.10 and the cable's receiving $55.84. That should be easy when we're getting money back.
I'll make a motion that we accept resolution 2012-32 and 33.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Pending ordinance 2984. Pete, this is an economic development issue. We're asking to change a zoning on a piece of land in the industrial park, and would you explain why?
Yes. But again, we'd like to ask council to support the decision put forth by APC to rezone approximately 3 acres in the industrial park that was formerly designated to be an auto dealership. Land has been sitting vacant for about 15 years. We have an opportunity to place a new business there that will initially employ 8 employees and with projected growth to 25 employees. So we'd like to ask for your support in approving the APC's recommendation.
Thank you, Pete. Okay.
It was unanimous, I believe.
Yes.
And how much property would be left?
In that particular segment, about 2.5 acres.
Okay.
So from 450 to the old, the cemetery, just east and west across that small cemetery that sits there.
Yes.
So from the cemetery north, about 2.5 acres.
It fronts State Route 1.
Yes.
We're going to be able to put, how many jobs? I forget.
It's 8 jobs initially and up to 25.
Up to 25. And I think we're going to break ground in the morning if you guys pass it.
If you pass this, then I'd like to invite you all to join us at 9:30 tomorrow at the site for groundbreaking.
The sketch of the building in here, and it's an attractive building.
It's a very nice building, and
Yes.
if you have any questions of the owner, he's sitting in the audience here, so.
I'd like for him to come up, if the owner would come up. You got the, is this your son with you? Or are you? Well, Wolfram looks so young to me. You're from Hagerstown, and
Yes, sir.
introduce yourself.
I'm James Hamilton, the owner of Lawn Care Specialist, and we've been working in East Central Indiana and Connersville area for since 2005.
Well, we appreciate him. We've tried real hard to get this going, and I think we finally got everything moving. We're working with the state on the curb cut. I think we've been assured that that's going to happen without a problem. There was one there, and it expired, but now we've got a promise from the state they're going to go ahead and do it back. So you're investing a lot of money in our community, and we appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity down here. I really do. So.
Okay. Well, thank you. And, all right.
I move that we approve pending ordinance 2984.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Right.
Gave you a second. Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve pending ordinance 2984 to rezone a portion of the industrial park from enclosed industrial to open industrial. Is there any discussion from anybody out there? Okay, any discussion up here? Have a roll call vote.
Councilwoman Rish?
Yes.
Councilman Weber?
Yes.
Councilman Shomel?
Yes.
Councilman Nobby?
Yes.
Councilwoman Montgomery?
Yes.
Councilwoman Stevens?
Yes.
You have unanimously passed that on first reading. Would you like to suspend the rules and consider it on third reading?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. On suspension of rules only, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We can move forward if you want.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to consider pending ordinance 2984, approving a rezoning from enclosed industrial to open industrial in the industrial park. Any discussion? Anybody? Discussion?
I just hope not, in the not too distant future, you fellows bring more of these to us.
Yeah.
We'll be happy to
We'll
consider.
do our very best.
Okay.
None appearing, we'll have a roll call vote.
Councilman Weber?
Yes.
Councilman Shomel?
Yes.
Councilman Nobby?
Yes.
Councilwoman Montgomery?
Yes.
Councilwoman Stevens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rish?
Yes.
You have passed this unanimously. We break ground at 9:30. No rain, it's gonna be sunny. Sunny and pretty. Everybody's invited, including the press. Okay. Pending ordinance 2985, this is a transfer in the motor vehicle, $600 from gas to minor equipment. And F is a pending ordinance 2986, is a transfer in cable TV from printing and travel to gasoline. I'd like to take those two together if you would.
I move that we take pending ordinance 2985 and 2986 for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adopt pending ordinance 2985 and 2986. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Would you like to suspend the rules?
So moved.
Got a motion on the floor to suspend the rules. Consider these two ordinances on third reading. All in favor of suspension of rules only say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We can move on.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion on the floor to consider pending ordinances 2985 and 2986 on third and final reading. Any discussion? Any discussion, anybody? None appearing, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Pending ordinance 2983. This is the council redistricting. I'm going to call a public meeting to order. And this is open for discussion. The new zoning map is posted. And I don't know if you can see it from here, John. Can you put it up? You got it on? the little
I have it here, Mayor, so he can put the camera on it.
Okay, I don't know if you, can you do that? You got it? He'll show you what we changed.
You won't be able to see it
Okay. You're showing it to the public?
there. Yes.
Okay. Anybody have any discussion about changing it, removing 128 people
Yes.
from where to where? You guys did it.
From 1 into 2, District 1 to District 2.
I think it's mandated that we have to have this done.
Have to have it done by the end of the year. Fran and John have worked on this for 6 months to
Yes.
even out the districts.
The purpose of which I think is to have as close to not less than 10%, wasn't it, the amount of voters in each one?
Yes, we lost population since the 2000 census. And that's when you redistrict after every 10 years after every census. And
Right.
each of the districts had to be reduced by a few people to bring them within the 10%. That's allowable.
Right.
Any discussion at all from the public?
And the people that will be affected will be notified by the clerk that they are being moved from one district to the other. There is no election in Indiana next year, so the election board will have sufficient time to contact the people.
Is there any discussion from anybody in the audience tonight? None appearing. We'll close the public hearing. Let the record show we had a public hearing. There was no discussion. Discussion among the council.
Mayor, I need to point out a couple things.
Go right ahead, sir.
Yeah, on this map, for the benefit of the public, the two areas that are being moved from District 1 to District 2 are the ones that I'm pointing to here, are highlighted. The one I'm pointing to now is in their area, pretty well surrounded by Spartan Drive, but the people that live there are along the east side of Gray Road and down to the corporate boundary. There were a few there we could move into from District 1 to District 2 relatively easily. And also the district that I'm pointing to here, or the portion of the district, was contiguous to District 2, and we need to move more people from District 1 to District 2 for a total of 128 people altogether in both areas, going from 1 to 2. And like I said, this area is along the east side of Gray Road and along the circular Spartan Drive, and not many there because of the school. And the other area, I can read the description of the boundaries. It's beginning at West 3rd Street and then south on the east side of Ridge Road to Timber Creek Road, and north on Timber Creek Road to Ranch Road, and then east on Ranch Road to Canyon Parkway, north on Canyon Parkway to West 3rd Street, and west on the south side of West 3rd Street to its intersection with Ridge Road, which territory consists of census blocks 3011 and 4003 in tract 9545, and that came from the census maps provided by the state. And the what we did was, and what we attempted to do is explained as follows. The 5 councilmatic districts are not exactly equal, but are in all cases within 10% of each other due to the need for ease of election administration and the following of visible and discernible geographic street boundaries to assist with voter notification and to keep existing council persons within their respective districts. Fran and I made a trip to the Timber Creek neighborhood and Ranch Road and so on to locate where Connie lived to make sure we didn't move her out of her district, which we did not do.
We don't want to do any gerrymandering. So
Yeah.
we're careful.
So we kept her in her district, and to which she has told us she'd be eternally grateful, and moved folks a little north of her in from 1 to 2. And that's basically it.
Could have bought me a new house.
Yeah, you could.
How much did you get for doing that?
I didn't even know about it.
But
I just said he could have got me a new house, maybe. I can move. That's fine.
Okay, is there any further discussion by the council on the redistricting?
yeah, there isn't any, I'll move it pending ordinance 2983 we passed on first reading.
Second.
Okay,
I
we
think
have,
it would be clearer, maybe. I think, if I'm not wrong, I think if you live on the north side of Ranch Road, from Canyon to Ridge, and then around the corner to Ridge, that includes you. Is that
is that right,
correct?
Fran?
I'm sorry?
The north.
It's not clear at all.
The north side of Ranch Road, from
Yes.
Canyon Parkway.
There's no change in Ranch Road, no. The area was south of Ranch that, or south of West
Ridge.
3rd Street that was affected, Ridge Road and Canyon Parkway. We came south on Canyon Parkway to Ranch.
Right. So if you
Yes.
live on the north side of Ranch.
Is
From-
now in District 2.
Right.
On the
Yeah,
south
that-
side is,
that's
remains
the
District
part that's
1.
affected.
Yes, and then
Yeah.
the area just across Gray Road from Hickory Hills, small
Right.
area in there.
Right.
Okay. On pending ordinance number 2983, the redistricting, we've had the public hearing, we've had the discussion. What would you like to do?
We have a motion to
We do have a motion. And Fred made the motion and Gabe second. Is there any further discussion? We'll have a roll call vote. This is an important issue.
Councilman Shomel?
Yes.
Councilman Nabi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Montgomery?
Yes.
Councilwoman Stevens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rish?
Even though Gary's getting some of my good people, I'll say yes.
Councilman Weber?
Yes.
You have passed that pending ordinance 2983 on first reading. Would you like to suspend the rules and consider it on third and final reading?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor to suspend the rules to hear pending ordinance 2983, council redistricting, on suspension of rules only. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed, we can move forward.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
There we go. We got a motion and a second on the floor to consider pending ordinance 2983. This ordinance would consider the council redistricting, and this would finish it for 10 years, right?
Yes.
On third and final reading on 2983, we'll have a roll call vote.
Councilman Nabi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Montgomery?
Yes.
Councilwoman Stevens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rish?
Yes.
Councilman Weber?
Yes.
Councilman Shomel?
Yes.
We have passed that, and that issue is behind us. Okay, we have pending ordinance 2987. It's a transfer from cable TV from office other equipment into minor equipment. It is $375. Do you want an explanation, or are you okay with it? You okay? No, I'll take a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second to consider pending ordinance 2987, transferring from cable TV $375 into other minor equipment. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Would you like to suspend the rules?
So moved.
Second.
On suspension of rules on 2987, transferring $375 into minor equipment. All in favor of suspension of rules, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Move forward if you'd like.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion on the floor concerning pending ordinance 2987, an ordinance that would transfer $375 from other equipment to minor equipment in cable TV. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Department reports for November, EDG.
Keep ours very brief. You all have our written report. We continue to work on 3 major projects: Project Neptune, Project One, which we concluded this evening, and our Project R. Those are all continuing work. Framco, I think, John, the attorneys have received all the necessary documentation, and
Well, they've advised me that they have prepared the necessary documentation and sent it to their client for approval.
did any timeline?
No.
Been a time on that for
I've
3
impressed
years.
on them that we need it quick, as soon as possible, hopefully before the end of the year, but they don't move very quickly.
You might explain Pramco where it's at?
Oh, I apologize. The Framco property is the property east of the old D&M plant on the east side of Western Avenue that burned, 2 years ago? The city, working with economic development, tore that facility down. We've been negotiating with Superior Chemical next door to purchase that property, but there have been problems with the deed. I can't speak to all the inner workings of the settlement, but it was quite complex, and I think John and the mayor have done an outstanding job in getting this to this point. But we've still got dot i's and cross t's. So.
Okay, thanks.
Might note that UEA has renewed through 2014. We thought that program might go away, but we did get another year. We'll be going, the mayor and I will be attending the Energize ECI meeting on January 15th. We have one hot lead, and I say it's hot from the state, we've had ongoing communications. We got the lead last Wednesday, and since then, they've changed the parameters. They've come back to us about 3 times now in emails, so at least we're getting looked at. Any questions? Thank you very much, and Happy New Year, Merry Christmas to all. Thank
You too.
I think, Pete, I think I told the Board of Works where we stand on the sale of the building. Did I give you guys a report?
No.
Okay, let me give you a report. You know, we all agreed to sell the building to a company that wanted to remain unknown, and we did that. They had a due diligence period of 60 days, which has passed by. They put $200,000 down in earnest money. Closing date is the 20th, which today is the 17th, so we're 2 days away. About 2.5, 3 weeks ago, they came to Economic Development, asked them to go to the city and ask for an extension of the closing date to March the 31st, 2013. John and Pete, myself, and I think Julie, we negotiated, and then we took that to the Board of Works. The Board of Works voted 3-1 to extend it to the 31st of March in 13. That's their prerogative to do that. They control the property, but I wanted to report to you where we are. They have leads that they want to pursue to either sell or put in that building, and of course our whole interest in it is jobs, so they are in the process of doing that. Mr. Baker gave us good advice. He said that you want to give them all the time they can, because what we're interested in there is jobs, and as far as the $200,000, that has already become the city's money. Am I telling you straight, John? Or
At this point, it's non-refundable. We have an agreement before them now that tied to the extension to March 31st, 2013. They have to relinquish any right to the $200,000 and authorize it paid to the city escrow agent.
other than this council needs to know about it, do they need to do anything?
No.
Okay. I just want to keep you all in the loop what's going on.
I voted in favor because I didn't feel like we should pull the rug out from under this company, because they are trying to get an occupier for it. And hopefully it won't take 3 months. Maybe something will happen in January or February, hopefully.
I think the right thing was to give them the extension. We want to give every opportunity we can to produce jobs.
Yes.
Yes.
Any questions about that before Pete leaves? He's going home and watch TV. Gonna watch us?
That's Channel 3, Pete, Channel 3.
Street Department. Let me introduce to you your new street superintendent here. Mr. Grove, you got a report?
Yeah, of course, we've done the same things we do every month, it seems like, but we finally got the leaves done. We still get a call straggler here and there, but the leaves are pretty much done. Catch basins, we've done a lot to those this time because with the amount of leaves that we've had and the rains, just it's the right time to fill them up.
How many catch basins have you cleaned? Do you know exactly?
We've tried to touch every one, and if we missed one, we're sorry, but we don't try to miss any. We've tried to touch every one in town.
This is the ones that stop up and hold water and we get ice, and it's always been a problem.
But we were picking up better than a ton there for a week. We were picking up better than a ton of stuff from the catch basins a day. So that's, to me, that's a lot of leaves to get a ton of them. The signs that the project that I've started with from one end of town to the other, I got a call today. The signs are ready for us. All I have to do is go pick them up. We've got just a turnover of signs, so the one-ways, the stops, every sign in town, we've got a backup. So if we need to change them, we'll have them to change over and keep an inventory. We also are going to refurbish stop signs. We got kits bought for that, so that'll save us money there. Instead of putting up a new sign, we could take an old one and make it make it look new, so. As we do that too, we're gonna cut back limbs and so forth at the intersections and see if we can make that better for next spring when the leaves come back out. Trash.
The trash truck, I don't know how you're putting this in service.
Yeah, here I go with trash. We're gonna have a meeting Thursday at 9:15, and all parties will be there that need be to start discussing exactly what we're gonna do and the steps we're gonna do it in. The truck will be here also on Thursday. We'll have it up at the Vistion building. I'm gonna store it there until we're ready to go. We're gonna train and set up the cans, which the cans are already put together. They're ready to go to, they're ready for the street. And I forget the exact date. It's a Saturday, I can't remember, but it's the 5th or 6th of January is when we're gonna start putting those out. I can't remember now what that Saturday is. I think it's the 5th. That's right. I thought it was, but I didn't want to be wrong. So we're going to start that Saturday and Sunday handing those out. We'll be going door to door, writing down the addresses and the number on the can to match and catalog those. So we'll start that Saturday and go door to door done. The way it stands right now, the training will start this Thursday. And the way it stands right now, then the 14th will be the first day that we start using cans.
4 weeks from today.
So that'll give us from the 5th that week to get the cans all out and get situated. Then that'll give the residents the time too to put stuff in the cans. So then on that 14th we'll start picking them up. And we'll see how that goes the first day. I think it'll be okay. It'll be okay. And like I said before, to get go, I'll walk it if I have to, and that's what I'll do. I'm going to go with the people on that Saturday and Sunday and through that period handing out cans in case there are questions with the folks that we give them out to.
There'll be literature on those cans telling them exactly what to do. It's very clear. I went over it today, and it'll work good. On the 14th will be trash day start.
So it's just a matter of people getting ready. We also have a list of people that's gone, so we're not going to put cans out into those people until they come back from Florida and so forth. That we do have some residents that way.
We got the lifters on the other truck ready to go.
We got for backups, and we can if the armed truck goes down, we have 2 trucks ready to go. We took those to Indianapolis, the best equipment, and had those fitted with the new arms on them to pick up the can that we have now, the new can. So.
Have you released a pickup schedule yet?
Oh, we're right now, what I'm thinking about doing, we'll discuss this Thursday, is as we hand out the cans and the literature that's going to be on the can, your day, we're going to try to get the day in there. So
it'll be marked right on the can what day you pick it up.
So you'll know from the get-go. But we also, I'd like to get on Channel 3, at least in the paper also. I think they both have had them. We'll put another map back in the paper to try to help that way, and on Channel 3.
Okay.
So people will be able to see that a little bit better too.
David's done a good job up there. I was in the garage yesterday morning. I come by and I said to Phil, "Who authorized you to buy a new truck?" He said, "We didn't. Joe made them wash them." Man, they look nice out there. I didn't know those trucks were so yellow. I appreciate that. I really do.
Thank you. But another thing I didn't say on the sheet, when we do the grindings down at the compost area, we've had one screen in it. We put the stuff through, run it through, and it all comes out. And there's sometimes some big pieces and so forth. It's kind of, to me, it's always been kind of trashy. So it should be here tomorrow or Wednesday. We ordered a new piece that goes in there. It'll make everything a lot finer. As far as I'm concerned, it should be a grade that can be put on the garden without all the big pieces in it. So that'll help a lot. Where maybe we can set up a time in the spring and just load and get rid of all of it. We have quite a bit down there now, but with this new screen, we're going to go back through everything we've never done before. This is something brand new. So hopefully it makes it a lot finer for gardens and so forth. It won't be the big pieces in it, the sticks and stuff. Hopefully that helps us. And one last thing, I'll mention it here and you'll see it in other places, but the Christmas holiday will be closed on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So we'll pick up Monday's trash on Wednesday, Tuesdays on Thursday, and then whatever that next day is, what's that next day? Wednesday on Friday. So we'll just miss those 2 days, and there won't be any recycling that week of Christmas. We'll do away with that. Then the next week with New Year's, we'll do it a little bit differently. We are open on Monday, so we'll do Monday, and then we won't do Tuesday, and we'll do Tuesday on Wednesday. We'll recycle on Thursday, a normal recycle day, and then do Wednesdays on Friday. I hope that confuses everyone. I'm sure I'll get some calls, and that's fine.
Give it to the paper and Channel.
But I give it to them, they'll be in the paper, and John will have it on Channel 3 too. So it's always a confusing time, but we'll get through that then.
Dave, did I hear that recycling was gonna be every other week? Did I hear that?
The way
No.
you just said it, so I heard it. No, I don't know
Is
what
that
we're
true?
doing, I'm not sure what we're
Don't
doing
know.
with that
Okay.
just yet. Just
We'll see how we get along with automated
Yes.
trash, and then we may recycle. We're only picking up 8 ton a week,
Okay.
and we may pick up every other week.
Okay.
Since recycling doesn't smell, you can store it, and it's not a big deal. We're gonna see how we get along.
But we'll remain the same until we change it then.
Okay.
We won't do anything, because we still have the trucks, we still have, able to do it, so
Okay.
we can still do that. Maybe someday down the road that we can get another tote for recycling, I don't know, we'll just have to see that when that would ever come about.
Most cities, we were told, are doing it the way we are, still having plastic bags for recycling. And as you say, eventually it may go to the toter also. But
It's amazing, Fran, to me, because I was never there to pay attention, but I have an average of 20 people a day come and get bags. So that's, to me, a lot of bags.
it's great.
Hopefully they're all
Expenses.
used for the right thing.
I was gonna
They
say.
do sign their name, I do say one roll, so. But,
The expenses for the month, Dave, $135,467.77. Down somewhat, I believe your overtime was very minor.
yeah, it was that second week we went to recycle, so we had one truck that was just a few minutes late. And we kept track of that during the course of the afternoon, and they got there as quick as they could that afternoon. The other truck made it, and the other one didn't.
Any further questions from the street superintendent? Thank you.
Thank you.
David. Okay, utility department report. In water, we have 178. We showed a profit, not really, but we did this month, 48,769. And all that means is we got that much money left over after we paid all the bills, after we took the cost from the income. Sewer, $262,752 after the bills were paid, and stormwater, $556,521. And the reason being, we paid the biggest part of the stormwater project. I think we just got one small payment left on that, right?
So just the retaining wall.
Okay. The transfer station, it's in your thing. Tom's not with us tonight. Tom has an emergency in his family. The transfer station, you can look at it here. We collected 322 tons. Recycling was 46 tons for the month. Cash, $64.25. Charges, $12.60. Total, $7,685. Number of customers served, 561. We want to look at the expenses. We're operating down there with part-time people. Things are doing pretty good.
I was wondering about the recycle and dump column. It's up quite a bit. Do you know what that is, Julie, or any one of you know what that means? It's toward the bottom of his report.
That just means the cost to have the recycling picked up. It fluctuates from month to month.
Depending on the amount.
Yeah, and you can see there are some months there where, it's 2,700, 2,900,
Yes.
so, but that's what that's.
And sometimes, this last month too, we had the roll-off we have up at the yard. We had it changed out this week, so, or on that report, so that would be quite a bit too, extra.
Okay, thanks.
Up and beyond normal.
Fire department.
Evening.
That's right.
We had 94 runs, 148 man-hours on emergencies, 3 inspections, 7 investigations, 18 hours of pre-planning, and 160 hours of training. We used our part-time for 12 days for approximate savings around $4,100. On our appropriations report, I'd like to mention again that the firemen on C shift worked on the roof at 4, and they finished that up as far as wrapping all the way around the front of the building so they could have gutters put on, and it's all sealed up and ready for a few more years of service. So we're done with the porch and the gutters and everything. And I think that might be all I had to talk about, other than we did some tours and stuff like that. And
Great, you did a great job third time.
The cost was to operate the fire department in November, $172,498.13, which is down considerably, Troy.
thank you.
Thank you. The overtime looks pretty good, and we have $8,265 left, so that should cover us for the year, shouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. Actually, his payroll wasn't much at all. I looked at his payroll today.
Good.
So
we
we're
had-
gonna finish the year with money left in there.
Started with 2 on sick leave. One of them's back. The other fireman will be back on the 14th of January. He did real good with his surgery, so that was a blessing. He's doing real good, recuperating real good. So.
Would you say now, Troy, that the overtime, the part-time people have kicked in, now you can tell the difference?
Yeah, and there's still gonna be times where we have to use our guys. I mean, just for the way that falls.
I noticed it's mileage on the assistant chief's car. We don't have any assistant chief anymore. How's that car used, car 31?
We used it, we had to make a trip to Indianapolis for an issue with the pensions, and we used it for
Okay.
that. And we use it also to run around when we get stuff for the stations.
It's a truck, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a pickup truck.
Yeah, and we use it, we actually use it a lot. We haven't used it much on fires, thank God, this month. That's a blessing.
Okay, thanks, Troy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. EMS.
Okay, for the month of November, our expenses for the city share was $36,335. Our expenses was $18,663.06 for a total of $17,671.94. So far for the year, our expenses for city share is $442,809.82. Our expenses is $210,238.60, and our operating's been $232,571.22. We had 215 runs for November, and totally so far we're at 2291.
Is that above average?
We're a little above. Yeah. We're going to probably end the year with about 2,600 runs. So.
Cost the city $232,571.22 so far, and that's unheard of, to be
Yes.
able to operate an ambulance service at that low cost. And I think it's, Troy's doing a good job managing.
That's Dale.
Huh?
That's Dale.
What did I say, Troy?
Troy, you're doing a good job managing that.
Like the record show, really, I can't keep my name straight. My wife gets real upset when I call my daughter the dog's name. Have you ever done that?
Well, we all have did that. I think that.
See,
I think we all did go do that.
okay. Dale, you're doing a good job, and you do it by good management, and I have to say our collections are excellent with the company we're using.
Yeah, got a good group up there to work with too.
Yeah.
So.
All that goes smooth.
Yep.
We've been at that over a year now, or more.
Over 2 years.
Over 2 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's all seems to be working pretty good. We are still working on getting the exhaust system put in. We're getting some quotes to get that started. And we did put radios in the other day. We are having some issues with them, but hopefully we'll get that worked out.
The whole city is going to this narrow band on
Yeah.
Tuesday, right? Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't get too excited because we're gonna face you with an ambulance if we don't get this grant. We're patching this ambulance and making it go. So,
Any word on the grant?
at this,
We won't have anything till, just one day we'll get an
February, I
email.
think,
that
isn't it?
says- It should be by February. We should get a letter that says either yes or no, so. The last couple of years, it's been about February, March, right in there we get them, so.
Oh, yes.
Dale, years ago, people were able to purchase those green address signs, reflectorized signs through your department. Are they still available? I've had an
No,
inquiry.
we phased that out.
Okay.
We got to the point we couldn't get the signs anymore.
Okay.
And we ended up, we were going through a company somewhere in Ohio, and it got too expensive for us to keep trying to handle it, and we just got out of it.
Okay, I had an inquiry as to whether or not they were still available. They would like to get a couple, and,
I believe Gilman's have them. I think that's
Okay.
where I've seen them.
okay.
Them or Willis, one of the places. I
All right,
still have
I'll
them.
tell them, thanks.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you got your Parks and Recreation, our park superintendent's sick tonight. I think he's got his flu that's going around. You got your report in front of you, November and year-to-date. You got your expense report on the second page. The park has been busy. They had Santa in the park. The buildings, of course, have been really busy during Christmas, and the report, I think, takes care of itself. Any questions? Connersville Police Department.
We have 1,090 law reports, 41 citations issued, 4 ordinance violations, 56 warnings issued, 7 personal injury accidents, 34 property damage accidents, 0 fatalities, and 125 arrests for the month of November. Also, if you look over here, Fran, if you look at my overtime.
I'm looking at your overtime.
You're real proud of that, aren't you?
It's down.
Do I have any questions?
Are you gonna have enough left in your overtime to cover?
I'm not sure.
We do, we better.
After you're not getting any.
There's nowhere to get any more now. I think we
I
do.
think there is.
I think I looked at yours today too. But I think we're good.
It's, I can tell just by using
Yeah,
our
we've got
overtimers and also
15,000.
people calling it sick, it's been real down, so I don't think we're gonna have too much problem.
We're good.
I do want to tell you that I listen to his policeman at night a lot of times, and I think Nancy can back me up. It gets worse and worse and worse. We live in a violent society, and as you can see up in Connecticut, and the first of the year I'm going to come to you. I want you to reconsider tasers, and I want you to reconsider putting computers in the car for them. They can be on the street more if the computer's in the car and not have to come into the building and work on the computer to do their reports. We need them on the streets.
Also, Mayor, I'd like to also implant in your minds that we got new mobile radios for our cars. We all went to narrow banding. We're wideband, but we're narrow banding now. And
That was mandated, that
That's
wasn't ours.
mandated through the country. So I was on VHF, if you know anything about radios. But our portables are pretty sad shape. They're like 15, 16, well, more than that, about 17 years old. And I don't want to flood you with 17, or excuse me, 30 portable radios, but I would like to slowly, maybe this year, buy maybe 10. And they don't have to be the best, you know. We'll stick with the Motorola, but it don't have to be like the top portable radio they have. I like to get some quotes and maybe come back with you here in a few months, you know, maybe within the next 6 months or so, and sit and talk to you. And that way we can maybe slowly get them all replaced, but we'll still have the old ones there to use. But we need to really start phasing the old ones out, because they're working on 20 years old, and we're starting to have some trouble, and they're going to phase them out to where we can't get them fixed anymore for parts. So that's why I got a concern there. So along with the computer, the tasers, whatever, beggars can't be choosers in a sense anymore. So
We don't put anything into the budget from equipment. We keep that completely where the council can control what's being spent. Nancy, we'll pick on you. I want you to chair that committee. I want you to look into those things that the police need. I want Mrs. Montgomery to work with you. You can kind of teach her the ropes. You live close together, you know each other. You two, I want you to,
Do we? I didn't know we did.
well, she lives on Grand and you live on Western, that's close.
But one's District 3 and one's
We all live
District
in
5.
Cottage.
So, there is a,
Nancy, don't pay attention to him. I'm gonna make you chairman. You live with a former policeman. I want you to work with David and Dennis and bring back some recommendations, what you think, how we can phase into this slowly or what we can do. I'd like for you to report maybe in February. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Is that all right with you, Councilwoman Montgomery?
Yes.
We gotta get you started on this.
Okay.
We gotta get going. Okay? Thank you. I want you to work with those two ladies.
Okay.
Explain what you need. Talk John, bend his arm a little bit.
Man, I'd like to bring up something else here real quick, if I could.
Don't ask for no more money.
No, nothing to do with me. I received a couple of phone calls today in regards to what happened up in Connecticut. I talked to Dr. Hodges today, school superintendent, and also talked to the sheriff. And we're going to sit down and after the first of the year and have a meeting and go over our response plans in the schools, also police and sheriff's department response plans. And when we do this, Mayor, I think we've mentioned it briefly to you, I'd like to have maybe you and the county commissioner also attend this meeting, and to kind of get some groundwork down to what we've got and what we've worked with already, and see what we can do to make things a little bit better. We also might, in the near future, I had a guy express to me that called me that he would like to be in a meeting and express some views in regards to security in the schools and what have you. So we need to meet first with our law enforcement to school and our city and county fathers, so to speak, and just come up with some groundwork, and then maybe have another one where the public can come and listen to their ideas, and let them vent a little bit. I know this tragedy that's happened up in Connecticut has affected this whole country. I know it has me anyway. And I think of the emergency responders that responded there, the police, fire, and EMS, especially the police officers and the technicians who did the investigations on that. It's really, really something that I'm glad I'm not a police officer up there this first of the weekend. And I hope and pray I never have to go to something like that. I've seen enough in my career, but that there would really be a terrible thing to have to work. And so my heart goes out to those responders up there and everything else. But we are trying to work and do our best to try to deal with things like this that happens in our community, and in all means try to prevent something like this from happening. So with that said, I'll get off here, but I just wanted to share that with you and get that out to the public. And that's what we got going.
Channel 3?
cost of operating the police department last month, $212,342.15.
Up or down, Frank?
It was up, but they had several big items. Clothing allowance was one that is paid every 6 months. That was almost $17,000.
Pardon?
Have we paid for the radio?
Yeah, the radio's been paid for.
That
was a big item.
And that was
And,
$30,000.
Telephone jumped quite a bit, and Julie explained it to me, or I questioned at the Board of Works, that there's changing systems, I believe.
In process. John?
First of all, I have to apologize to the people at home tonight. Having a computer problem tonight. The audio is 3 seconds behind the video currently on there, so we look like a bad kung fu movie. I will fix that in post-production. We'll time that out and time shift it to look fine, but tonight it's very frustrating for people at home, and I apologize. The only way I can fix that is to restart the computer, and that would take us off the air, so we don't want to do that. So, sorry about that. There it is, 3 seconds later. For the month of November, we had 10 hours 47 minutes of meetings and 5 hours 57 minutes of original programming. Have my report. I don't know if you have any questions about that. Just a reminder, we've got the Connersville Speaks with Santa coming up this Thursday. We'll be live beginning at 7, going to 8:30, and you can call in and talk to Santa Claus. And we'll have him live on the air. The numbers are 825-3245 and 827-3135. That's this Thursday, the 20th.
I think Melissa has talked with Santa, and he plans to be there right at 7 o'clock. He will be there, you've checked. I can always hear him when he lands on that roof. You heard him too, you've been up there
No,
with
I
us.
didn't hear him. Don't drag me into this.
I think your hearing's bad. 'Cause I
No,
always
my
hear him.
hearing is
I
not
hear-
bad. I think you're.
I hear him every year. Okay. Thank you, John. Public forum, anybody got anything they'd like to bring up tonight?
Ruby.
I bet Ruby's coming up to wish us all Merry Christmas.
I wish everybody Merry Christmas. True, I was gonna say that then.
I beat you to it.
Good job. I just want to appreciate Bobby Levon that had all them kids. There's from Rushville, Shelbyville, Richmond, and Connersville. There's probably 300 kids, and the people that donated food, they had tremendous food. And bears and everything, and them kids was really happy, and see that he's talking about giving a Valentine party. And also, he's having surgery tomorrow.
Bobby?
Yes.
Did he have any caramel corn at the party?
No,
Oh,
he had
yes,
everything but popcorn. I mean, he had it all. And I know you're probably gonna bring it up, but if you are, then I won't say nothing. But I will ask you. We was all disappointed because we thought the paper had something about Harvard Motors in it, and there was nothing in there today, because it was a write-up in the paper.
They announced their announcement today, and of course.
Well, they said they would have a write-up in the Monday's paper.
Daryl, can you answer that?
Not really, I was in Guatemala when all that came out, so, the announcement came out this morning, I don't know what.
Did you not, did anybody see it in the paper?
No, it wasn't in there because I suppose it'll be
Yeah.
in tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I talked to Stacy today.
Our paper goes to press at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
But they had made it last week, said they would make some kind of a surprise today at Monday morning. It was a surprise, wasn't nothing there.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of people was disappointed because they was looking for something. And I do wish they do something, and I hope they will, you know.
Well, we didn't receive it until, what was it, 11 o'clock this morning? I've talked to papers and television stations all over the country this afternoon that called in here, and one of them came down and interviewed.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying I was just going by what the paper had said. The Carnesville paper said they would have a surprise for us Monday. And I'm the only one seeing it in the paper.
I saw
Anybody?
it, Ruby, it was in.
Well, I saw what it said it was going to be.
Yeah.
But there wasn't.
What is there,
Yeah, that's what I
is
was
there an
saying.
announcement yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
And could someone share that with us?
They
You don't know?
posted this morning on their Facebook and their website that they will be manufacturing the TX7 purpose-built.
It's a
Multi-mission.
swamp.
When they get the money,
I believe they have the money and will start production very soon,
Here in Connersville.
from what I understand.
Thank
Wouldn't
you.
guarantee that.
well, that'd be a blessing if it does happen. You know. I think it would.
Mhm.
Thank you, Ruby. Did you wish us a Merry Christmas?
I wish everyone a Merry Christmas
Thank you.
throughout
Me
the
too.
whole Fayette County.
Thank you.
We're gonna give you the prize for
And I do
having
feel
the,
sorry for those people in Connecticut.
we give you the prize for having the best dressed house on Western Avenue.
Do I? Thank you. I enjoy it.
Very nice.
She's got the whole block.
Come
lit.
inside, I'll give you something, a snack. I have fruitcake and homemade candy.
Oh, I love fruitcake.
Do you
Across the
really?
street.
Yeah.
I'll have
You
to.
can't hardly buy a good fruitcake anymore.
There's no such thing, is there?
Oh, see what you get.
I'm with you.
I was confused when you said good.
I mean, one you can buy. I mean, that's what I mean, not make, but buy.
Must smell good.
There is a difference.
Yes,
Buy
there
is
is.
what you make.
Yeah.
Okay. One
That
last.
came out bad.
Anything else under public forum, anybody? That's done. Old business. Anybody got any old business? That'd be 2012 business. Any 2011? Anything hanging over from 2010? Guess we're out of old business. Miscellaneous business, I'm gonna take first. You all have this in your thing, the new schedule. We're gonna try something. For 6 months, we're gonna run the Board of Works meeting at 5:30 in the afternoon on the first and third Monday, and then the city council meeting directly after it at 7 o'clock. Now, we're hoping that we can get through the Board of Works. There's sometimes the Board of Works has a lot of business and be out of here so we can be back in here at 7 o'clock. We're gonna do this because here's what happens. Julie and Melissa and a lot of others have to be here every single Thursday and Friday to have agendas ready, minutes ready, all this stuff. It would be, I'm not supposed to use the word stuff, I'm sorry, I forgot that. English teacher said, don't use the word stuff. Okay.
It's okay.
By doing it this way, they can just prepare these things each 2 weeks, and in the in-between 2 weeks, they want to take a vacation or something, they can do it. If John and I can keep up trying to get the ordinances and everything that we come up with, we're going to try it for 6 months. At the end of 6 months, the Board of Works can vote and see what they want to do. And our ladies that do all the paperwork. So it won't change your schedule any other than January and February, there's holidays. We'll be meeting on Tuesday instead of Monday.
Yes, we will.
Okay? So post this by your phone. I got one other thing I want to talk to you about. We did not budget for Visteon insurance, we just budget insurance. And I guess I need to know tonight if you want to continue to insure the building because it comes due 29th of this month.
How much
That's for
is
the
it?
year, right?
For the year, but we only pay month to
We
month.
pay monthly.
How
But if you
much?
want to renew it, I have to renew it for a whole year's rate, and then we'll divide it by 12 equal payments.
Slightly over $7,000 a month.
A month?
So,
Over $7,000 a month.
The current is
82,
82.4, I think.
didn't he say it would come?
It's probably gonna go up.
Well, we have no choice. I mean, we do have to insure it, don't we? Or do
Yes.
we not?
Ask Mr. Baker.
Mr. Baker?
There's no legal requirement that you insure it, but you have it sold for, potentially for $4 million. And if a fire occurred or some other disaster and you didn't have casualty coverage, you certainly wouldn't get the purchase price.
Well, we can use some of the 200,000 towards it.
Well, and that's, of course,
I don't
what we
see
would do
where
is
we have a
reimburse
choice.
ourselves for
Yeah.
that.
You have to insure it.
So am I getting pretty much a positive that you want to keep it insured? Is that all we need, Mr. Baker, or do you want a resolution here?
No, well, a resolution never
Roll
hurts.
call vote.
If you want to make it a record, that's
Okay,
all
let's
right.
put it in the record. Anyone want to make a motion to that effect?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Second.
Got a motion and a second that we continue to insure the Visteon plant month by month. Renew it for the year, but then pay month by month. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's 100%, so we'll put that in the record and then we'll move forward. Miscellaneous business with you, Nancy,
No.
and Ms. Montgomery.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Right.
Thank you. Dave?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
There is one thing I want to say. I just want God to be with all those people that lost their children and those teachers. It's just something I cannot imagine somebody getting through, so, without His help. Okay.
Nancy, they put prayer back in school because they said they went in the closet, hid, and prayed.
Yes.
So they put prayer back in school that day.
She never took it out.
Hey, I'm with you on that. Let's start on this end. Mr. Baker, you have any miscellaneous? Last chance this year.
Merry Christmas
Yeah.
to all. That's about all the business I have this evening.
Connie?
Nothing. Just Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. See you in 2013.
Councilman Weber?
Merry Christmas. Happy, is it Hanukkah? Could be.
I think Hanukkah's about over.
It is. Happy rest of Hanukkah. And have a good year.
Dan?
I'll be different and say goodnight.
You're either like Walter Cronkite or Lance Welk. I can't remember which one said goodnight all the time. Good night. Well, I want to say, we do feel bad for those people in Connecticut. Those two guys over there and myself I have seen one at a time, sometimes 3 or 4 at a time, young kids killed in cars or killed with a gun in my life, and it's terrible. I can't imagine seeing 20 on the floor in 2 rooms and a hall. So it's terrible. That community will never be the same. But we'll keep praying for them. And we're going to work with Dr. Hodges. I talked to him today. We want to work all we can to see that nothing like that ever happens here. You can't guarantee it, but we can work at it. So I'll say Merry Christmas to everybody. The only two people that went over and did a greeting was my chief and my assistant chief of police. John would love for you to come to the studio and put a Christmas greeting on. If you'd like to, go over there. It just takes about 5 minutes. And he plays them, play it all over Christmas holidays. Connie, you got a nice smile, and we'd love to have you.
Thanks.
Dr. Weber, let's see your smile. Not bad, you ought to see a dentist.
Look in the mirror.
Friend, you could do a Merry Christmas. You do ball games all the time.
They see enough of me already on TV3.
Anybody out there like to say anything? I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Meeting